Hi, I'm Chris Harmson, one of the crewmen on Wild Oats. Just going to explain a little bit about the boat and how different it is to some of the other boats in this race. In particular to Investec Loyal. We're a little bit older, our boat, but it's designed very differently. It's a very narrow boat and quite light. We're probably, in terms of the power we can carry, we're only about 60 or 70% of the power that Investec Loyal can carry. So a narrow boat and quite different in terms of the way we set up in particular the foils that we have underneath the water. We've got a very broad range of options that we can use in terms of the angle and type of foils that we use to balance the boat and make it go as fast as possible. So we've got two centreboards on board the boat just in front of the mast. We only use one at a time, so you use the leeward one. And these are centreboards that stop the boat slipping sideways. We have various settings on it. You can see some marks. So in windy weather, when you're sailing upwind, we use the full centreboard. And in lighter weather, and depending on the angle that the boat's sailing, you might only use half of it. They're quite a complex shape. They're a aerofoil section or hydrofoil section, and they're fatter on the inside than they are on the outside. And what that does, the fatter side creates lift, and so it actually, apart from stopping the boat slipping sideways, it actually helps the boat go a little bit closer to the wind than it would otherwise. So there's a lot of stuff downstairs on this boat. One of the most important things is our keel. A bit hard to see with the camera, but underneath this waterproof box is basically the ocean, and in there we've got a keel that's about 5 metres deep. It's a very narrow bit of steel, and on the bottom of it there's a bulb that weighs about 12 or 14 tonne, made out of lead. And it's controlled by a big hydraulic lever, a hydraulic ram that pushes a lever side to side, which allows the keel to rotate 40 degrees either side of centreline. That's the thing that stops the boat falling over. What I'm standing on at the moment is our horizontal foil that slides from side to side in the boat. You can't really see it, so it's not that interesting to look at. But there's some hydraulic action underneath my feet that pushes this foil from side to side. When it's fully retracted, it just sits flush with either side of the hull. Quite a functional galley. So we've got places to make hot cups of tea and coffee and hot chocolate, which is always greatly appreciated. We've got a microwave and a couple of storage bins, and we actually eat pretty well on this boat. So basically got a nice dry nav station, so seats for 2 people. They spend a lot of time down here just checking out the computer screens to monitor lots of things to do with the performance of the boat, but also very importantly the weather. And it is a full-time job, so we've got at least 2, sometimes 3 people down here that are talking about the various options in terms of how to position ourselves for the next bit of weather, but also how to position ourselves relative to the other boats. In terms of conditions in the Hobart race, we had a lot of light air, very patchy. It did favour our boat, those conditions. And then later in the race was very windy, and we managed to cope with those quite well as well. And we had a nice lead by the time the wind came in. So we ended up with quite a comfortable win. We weren't expecting that, but we take the wins as they come, and the crew pushed the boat very hard all the way. So very happy to get here in one piece.